friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I created this garden bed back in March. I made this garden bed 2 feet by 4 feet long. I decided to take some natural jute rope and create square foot pieces. It's really important that you understand, depending on the crop that you're trying to grow, how much space that crop needs. Something like a tomato plant is going to need more space than, say, something like onions, for example. So I did this just to kind of keep things organized. This was the first vegetable garden I've ever attempted, and so I wanted to do my very best that I could to set it up for as much success as possible. Speaking of successes, there are a few successes here and there are a few mistakes I've made as well. The tomato plants are thriving. They're doing really well, especially the cherry tomatoes. Both of my cherry tomato plants are producing quite a few tomatoes now, which is really exciting. But my beefsteak tomato plant has not produced any tomatoes yet. There are some blooms coming that I do think are gonna end up producing tomatoes, but I don't know yet for sure, so I'll have to give an update on that. My arugula plant was very successful. I just picked a bunch of arugula off of it the other night and I made a really yummy side salad. I've heard once it flowers that it's done, but I think I've seen some new growth on it. I'm not really sure if I should stake it up, if I should leave it. Either way, it was a success, the arugula plant. Onions are interesting. Hard to know for sure how they're doing because they're bulbs underground. The onions require a lot more watering, so you have to make sure that you stay good about watering your onions. They take a lot longer too. I think they take about 90 days before they're ready to be harvested. And the way you know that they're ready is the onion stalk will completely fold over. It won't be sticking straight up anymore. And then you have to dry out the onions to make sure all the moisture leaves the onion. One of the best things about gardening is it brings you back to just being connected with your food, and it makes you realize how much work and effort and time goes into producing something like one onion. And you have a lot more appreciation for it, or at least I do. That's one thing I've really loved about gardening. Plus, I just think it's great to learn to be self-sufficient. My jalapeno plant just produced its first jalapeno and it's looking really good, so that's really exciting. My biggest failure so far has been the broccoli. I bought a broccoli plant, I transplanted it into my garden bed and just thought, great, I'm gonna have broccoli. Turns out broccoli does not like the heat. So broccoli is actually a fall crop. When I realized that the broccoli was just not gonna make it and I pulled it out, I looked underneath some of the leaves that were left and it was just covered with bugs. You'll probably fight bugs, which I certainly have, and I don't want to put chemical pesticides on my plants. I've been using neem oil. I'll make sure I show you guys which one I use. When I was spraying the neem oil on the broccoli, I was spraying it from the top and I didn't spray it underneath the leaves. Broccoli got removed, didn't make it. I will certainly try broccoli again come fall time. Another failure I would say would be the little Gem Romaine that I planted. So I directly put the seeds in the garden bed just because I wanted to see if it would work. I tried to plant 4 and 3 of the 4 did not make it. I think it's better to plant them in something smaller when you're starting from seeds so that they have time to grow strong, root systems. You really gotta check your plants. You gotta check these daily. Like every morning if you really want them to be successful, or every evening, set a time aside in the day that works best for you. Check on them, make sure there's no bugs. They need to be watered. This garden bed needs to be watered daily or every other day. Unless you put in like a drip irrigation system, then you don't even have to think about the watering, which would be nice, but I kind of like taking the time to water my garden and spend some time with it. The soil combination that I have in this garden bed is 1/3 perlite, 1/3 peat moss, and 1/3 compost. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the little gem lettuce romaine seedlings that you saw in the garden bed weren't exactly successful. I think it's just best, especially when you're starting from seed, start them off in something that's smaller so that they can grow strong before you transplant them into a larger garden bed. I want to take the soil that we just mixed and I want to plant some new seeds. I want to try again with the little gem lettuce. That's what it looks like. We're also gonna do carrots. These are little finger carrots. I have never done carrots before, so I'm really excited to do this because I love carrots. And these take 10 to 25 days to emerge and maturity can be up to 57 days. And then we're gonna just do another variety of lettuce. This is Gourmet baby greens. These take 5 to 14 days to emerge and up to 45 days for maturity. So first, let's fill halfway with soil. So I filled these all the way up to the top with soil. I don't know why I was thinking fill them halfway. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 3 of each. So I'm gonna start with the Gourmet baby greens. I'm gonna take a couple seeds here, maybe like 3, just because some take, some won't. I'm not gonna really count them out or anything like that. I'm just gonna, you know, feel it out. Okay, so these are done. Okay, next we'll do the little gem again. So same thing, I'm just gonna take a few seeds for each one, plant it down in there. Okay, so the last ones we're gonna do is gonna be the carrots. Okay, so we've planted our seeds. Now what we want to do is we want to water them. So I've got my watering can here. But what I am going to do, because these pots have drainage holes at the bottom, which is fantastic, you want that, I'm going to get like a little tray of some sort to collect the water. So this is a tray that I use to put under indoor houseplants to collect water. But this is just a spare I have. It's obviously very dirty, but these won't mind. So I am just gonna arrange them in here. Tip number 1, label your pots. Because I just mixed them all up and so now I don't know which was which. That's okay. Figure it out as they grow. So just gonna water them. When the soil feels dry, give it something to drink. Also, you want to give it a good amount of sunlight. That is how you plant seeds and get some seedlings going. So I'll be sure to give you an update once they sprout up. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I hope you found it useful and helpful. Look forward to planting more vegetables together with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.